Joining me on my show today are my good friends Philippe and Pierre Padovani from Padovani's Restaurant. How are you?
Good, Roy. How's it going? Good, thank you.
What are we making today, Philippe?
So today we're going to make chocolate mousse
Okay.
with chocolate from the Big Island from the chocolate factory. So
And what's so special with this recipe?
this recipe, it's a very simple recipe, but the cocoa beans are very good in taste, and then the way we formulate the recipe, it's very light.
Okay.
And, you know.
So Pierre, you want to get started or?
Going to start it? Yes.
Okay.
So I'm going to get the chocolate melting.
Okay.
Just going to grab 4 ounces. Here it is. Just turn it over. We're going to chop it up into pieces so we
Okay.
can melt a lot more faster.
Okay. And Pierre, is there a trick to doing cracking eggs or?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Need experience.
Any experience? Just to crack it? Any experience just to crack it or?
Yes.
But I guess you want to make sure that you don't get any egg yolks into the egg whites, right?
Yes, no egg yolks in the egg.
And the reasoning is what?
The reason that your egg whites won't emulsify.
So they won't just whip
Won't
up.
flap up, yeah.
Okay.
So you make sure you have no shells
Uh-huh.
inside.
Oh, that's pretty fast. The last one you did pretty fast. And then
Now
you said
here.
just whisk it up. Okay, you have your
You
chocolate.
whisk it up. I have my chocolate. Just put it in
Okay.
here. So we're melting the chocolate in a double boiler. So we
Okay.
heat up the water and we just let the chocolate.
Wait, you're adding sugar to
To the egg whites.
okay egg whites.
You
Okay,
gotta go. You gotta beat it slowly. For the reason you have to broke down the albumin too fast. You don't develop easy.
Oh, so what you want to do is, and you have a special whisk. You have a like a
A
it's
balloon
called
whisk. It's a balloon whisk, yeah. So it airs out the egg whites a lot as you whip up. So the key when you do pastry, chocolate mousse, or anything, you know, you need to incorporate air.
Okay.
The more air you incorporate, more
The fluffier it
fluffy
gets.
yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to have the egg yolks here, which are separated. We're going to emulsify with some sugar.
Okay.
So just
Now
add the sugar, and we just put it in.
Is there a name to doing this step right here?
Here you can say you can make a ribbon.
A ribbon.
A ribbon, there's two. Now you can do a ribbon, you can do a nice fluffy egg yolk with the sugar.
Uh-huh.
So as we're whisking this up, you can start whisking a little bit. You know.
So with Pierre, the most important thing is making sure that you incorporate a lot of air.
A lot of air, yeah.
Into the egg whites.
At the meantime, the chocolate is melting over here.
Okay. Now, can you overheat the chocolate or?
You can. You could overheat it. You just got to be. Well, here we're fine. We have a double boiler, but you wouldn't want to put the chocolate straight on a naked flame because then you're going to burn it. And what's going to happen is going to have grains. And once it grains,
So it gets grainy if it gets too
hot.
Too
yeah.
hot.
If you go direct contact
on direct heat.
Heat, yeah.
So always use a double boiler.
Double boiler for chocolate is it's crucial, you know.
Okay.
So the chocolate melts quite fast the way we did it because we slice it up in small.
Now I know that you make a lot of desserts. I mean, what's your background or what's Pierre's background in chocolates?
Well, Pierre's background is he does a lot of confectionery, candies, and chocolates and desserts, and also Pierre is really a chef in cooking, but he does a lot of desserts now, and I've done quite a bit also. So we complete each other in the works. So Pierre takes care of all the pastries at the restaurant. I take care of all the food.
Okay, so this is done?
Keep going. You got to go for it.
You gotta be careful, yeah.
Gotta
Because the
go.
problem, you gotta melt the chocolate at the same time. All this working together. If the egg white's too ready early,
Uh-huh.
you got a problem. That's why I'm waiting for you now.
You got to go. Okay, you just got to go do like a figure 8.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Philippe.
So once this is emulsified, we're going to
Okay.
incorporate the egg yolks in the chocolate, and then we're going to add the egg whites. So the egg yolks are nice and emulsified.
Okay.
Push it fine.
Okay.
So you want to pour this in
Okay.
inside the chocolate. Just go in
Okay.
the middle. Go ahead. The chocolate is quite hot, so what's happening at the same time, the chocolate is cooking the egg yolks.
Okay.
So we're just going to take it out. Now the egg whites are getting ready.
Uh-huh.
So
Now,
the next step,
is there a something you call this, like a soft peak or a hard
soft peak.
soft
This
peak?
is it's getting a little bit over the soft peak now.
Okay, so
So we just tighten it up.
What's the difference between a soft peak and a hard peak?
Well, you keep an egg white at soft peak when you want to do souffles,
Uh-huh.
so they can expand a lot more.
Uh-huh.
And once you want to do, let's say, meringue, you get them to what we call egg whites, where it holds a lot more.
Okay.
Then we incorporate. So
You want me to do that?
Yes.
okay, go a little bit at a time. Go ahead, a little bit faster.
Okay. First time you wanted to be too slow, and now it's fast.
Oh yeah, you know. we've got to go for it.
Okay.
Because the chocolate is still warm. It's
Okay.
going to go in the egg whites.
Now, what happens when the chocolate gets hard when you're kind of mixing it together?
Then we're on the right track. So go ahead now. Just put everything inside.
Okay.
I'm just mixing it gently. Just again, just fold.
How's that?
Okay, very good.
Is that good?
Very good. You're going to be certified as a new Padavani's pastry chef for us. So,
Was that a joke or?
that was a joke.
I was supposed to laugh?
So yeah, chocolate mousse is ready. We're going
Okay.
to let it set in the refrigerator now, give it a couple of hours. And you can do a lot of things with this. You can just have it plain like this. You can serve berries, bananas, sliced.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
After it sets up, can you transfer it to another
Yeah,
mold or?
you can then use different china, different bowls for desserts and arrange it nicely. You can use a pastry bag if you'd like when it's cold and just give the design and then garnish with some fresh fruits and
Okay.
seasonal fruits. So.
Okay, so the next step is to refrigerate this.
Refrigerate it.
Lenotre tray?
Yeah, I used to work, I train a lot with Lenotre in Paris.
Lenotre is a very, very famous
one
pastry
of
chef. And
one of the top schools in the world, so it's something very unique. And you go very intense training. When you go to those kind of schools, you got to have a good knowledge because once you train with the master chefs in the world in pastry, it's very intense. And Pierre's done.
Pierre's same also.
Yeah, he has trained also in there. And we learned with Mr. Raymond, who was one of the best workmanship in pastry chef in the world in 1930s, 40s. So we got to learn a lot of techniques, you know.
Oh, good. So what's next?
Next, we're going to just wait and bring the chocolate out and finish decorating.
Well, you can't wait all day, so let's go, brother.
So we had some chocolate mousse made ahead.
So, so you did the same procedure as.
Same procedure, and we just individual portions of chocolate. We can garnish with some strawberries. We can get some sliced bananas and fruits.
Okay.
In Hawaii, you have a lot of exotic fruits. So when you have the season of the bananas, which is all year round, you can do it with mangoes. Then we just put some fruit slice with it.
So now this is called Padavani's.
This is Roy's new chocolate mousse. I was going to garnish it. And then we can get some.
Now what is that?
This is some orange zest, which is confit, which is a little bit of zest. And then,
but it's almost red.
yeah, it's red. So we confit in the syrup, and we add a little bit of
Like grenadine or something?
a little grenadine to it, and then after that we just cook it for a few hours.
I noticed
and-
that it's hard for you to give me information about what you do. You know, I have to take it out of you. I
Of
mean,
course,
is this all
yeah.
secret or something? or-
Well,
huh?
you know, it's going to be
It
on
is-
your
it
next
is-
menu, I think.
It's on my next menu. It's on my next menu already. You know what?
So you want
know
to see
what?
a pod?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's grab a pod.
Yeah, can I see a
So,
pod?
Well, we can get a pod and show you the interior of it.
That's banana.
So we're just going to split it in two.
Now this is a cocoa pod.
From the big island, yes. This is where chocolate starts from. And as you see inside, you get all the cocoa beans. So the fruit of the cocoa tastes like lychees when it's raw.
If I can try one?
Yeah, you can try one. And then what you do after that, to make
It's
the
really
chocolate.
creamy, huh?
Yeah, it's really, and what you would do, you pull them all out of the pods, then you would lay them in a case out in the sun and to create the fermentation of it. And after several days of fermentation, you just dry them in the sun on a wire rack. And then we get to the point where you have the beans which are dry here. So it gives you an idea of the results. And then you can age the beans for a year, 2 years.
So they dried.
Dried cocoa bean, yes. And then you just get into making your chocolate. So to make chocolate, it's very different because you need all the equipment, huh?
So Philippe, this is your, well, I shouldn't say Philippe, I should say Philippe and Pierre, your famous chocolate mousse.
Famous chocolate mousse. And you know, you can do individual portions. If you have a big family, do a nice big bowl.